What's up, family? It's Lisa, your girl Lisa, Lisa Media, and I'm here with Ron Glover, the author of Salvation's Son. I know y'all seen this floating around on social media, but he been making some waves. So we're about to get into it about his book, why he wrote it, and what's to come. So what's up, Ron? Say hey to my family.
Hey Lisa, hey family.
Really? Okay. Well, that's kind of dry, but I guess they'll take it. All right, so I'm just gonna jump straight into it. What inspired you to write Salvation Son, and what's the meaning behind the title?
I always wanted to write a book, but I always wanted it to be maybe a biography about somebody else. Then COVID-19 happened, and I started to thinking maybe I should start maybe writing my own memoir. And I started at the beginning with Salvation Son. Salvation Son is the my life from third grade through sixth grade uh, at John Hart Ramp School in North Philadelphia, and basically my life at home with my younger sister and my mother and father. The title Salvation Son comes from
Mhm.
the Salvation Army that was in our neighborhood. That was like a safe haven for us as kids and even as young adults. That was the place we could go to for after school programs, whatever it was we needed. The Salvation Army was always there. So um, my life and my neighborhood kind of revolved around the Salvation Army. So that's why I titled it Salvation Son.
Got you. Okay, well, that's dope. So, tell me some events in your life that had a huge impact. Like, what impacted you when you was a young little whippersnapper?
I think one of the things was just the family atmosphere and the sense of community that we had in our neighborhood. It was a close
Mhm.
knit neighborhood. Even going to school, we had teachers who genuinely cared. I had teachers who looked like me, male and female teachers, which was really um, impressive. Now that I look back on it, considering the way things are now, and we even had like an African American studies class. I remember having that class in like fourth grade, and I don't think too many schools had that back then. So there was a real sense of community, and it seemed like everyone who was involved
Mhm.
gave us the resources and everything we needed for us to be positive people in society.
I don't know. That's right.
Kind
Which school is this? What school was it?
John F. Hartranft. It's in North Philadelphia at 8th and Cumberland. And I was there from kindergarten through sixth grade. I believe it's a K through 8 now. They just
Oh, it's a
had their
K through eight now. Okay,
yeah,
got you.
they just had their graduating class on last Monday, which I was privileged to speak at.
Well, that's what's up. I see that. Well, at least you had a positive childhood to where, community schools, all of it was just like one big happy family, making sure that their children had the seeds and everything they needed to get to the next level in life. Um, I like that. So, how long have you been writing? How long have you been a writer?
I started out sports writing back in 2002, and I did that up until about uh, 2018. And that's kind of when I decided that I wanted to go in a different direction and maybe start to lean toward books. I've always wanted to write a children's book. I never thought the children's book that I wrote would be my own story. Um,
Oh,
I've
wow.
got some other projects that I'm working on a
Mm-hmm.
lower scale for like beginners as far as reading. So that's one of my smaller projects that I'm working on right now.
Okay. So tell me about your parents. Like, what was it like growing up?
I had a good childhood. I had a good childhood. Every day wasn't great, um, but at the end of the day, I knew I came from a loving household with two loving parents and a loving sister, and I'm thankful that I had my dad for 20 years up until his passing because I knew what it was like to have an affectionate
Mhm.
dad, to hear him say that he was proud of me if I did something, if he got on me if I was wrong or anything like that. But at the end of the day, I knew he was dad and I knew he had my best interest at heart. And to see how he treated my mother and sister, that was a big thing too, because it just, that was something that I took along with me later in life. And even just being a dad and incorporating a lot of our relationship into my relationship with my son,
Mhm.
that was important too. So in that little fraction of the time in my life, um, he really gave me the tools that I needed to go ahead.
That's what's up. I really, really like that because it's a lot of parent, households these days don't have that privilege. You know what I mean? Especially in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. So it's like unfortunately, a lot of households don't have that privilege. I think it's coming back though. You know what I mean? I've seen a few. So I think it's coming back, and I hopefully it does make a comeback because we had, if anybody that grew up in the 80s. Listen, we had fun. You know what I'm saying? We had fun in the 80s and the 90s. Um so I see that your book, you know what I mean, is going through Philadelphia school district, it seems. How do you think your book will impact or is impacting young readers?
Hopefully, when they read it, I hope that they can see or relate to some of the things that I talk about in the book that I went through. And it may
Mm-hmm.
not be anything specific, but it may be something dealing with maybe with peer pressure or maybe bullying or maybe a disappointment from not making a team or something like that. And just knowing that if you continue to work on your passion or whatever, that anything's possible. If you face your fears,
Mm-hmm.
overcome them, and just having, just confidence in yourself. And those are the things and the qualities that I'm trying to put in, to the young people by them reading this book.
Okay, I got that. I hear that. And that's truly something that young kids these days, especially with everything that's going on across the nation, they definitely need something like that. Anything that's positive, they definitely need it. How about your son? Has he read the book? What's his take on it?
I told him I was writing it, and he was excited about it then. But he's 19. He just finished his first year of college. Um, I'm not going to say he's ready
Oh,
yet.
he's in college. What college he going to?
He goes to Montgomery County Community College, so
Nice.
he's going to finish out his second year there, get his associates, and I think from there he wants to look at an HBCU. So,
Okay.
you know,
That's
um,
what's up. So basically you saying that he ain't read the book, right?
yeah, if it's not on, if it's not on PlayStation or Xbox or somewhere like that, I don't think he's ready. He has it though. He has a copy of it, so I'm pretty sure at some point he'll get to it. I don't hold it against him because I was 19 once, and I think one of the last things I was trying to do was pick up a book.
Well, that's your cue to make it an audio book. So
Yeah,
that way he can listen to it on the go.
exactly. That's a good point too.
Yes. Well, the last question that I have, um, because this is totally I'm digging this whole thing. So the last question that I have is with the immediate success, the immediate success of Salvation Son. Like, do you have anything else in the works? Do you have a book too?
Well, Salvation Son is the first of three books, and I call it the Salvation series because each book will have the word salvation in it. And the older I get, and the more as you read these books,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see how the Salvation Army becomes more prevalent in my life. Um, and the second book will be about my junior high years, and the final book will be about my high school years and a little bit of my life in college. So all three will
So why
chronicle my
not
life.
make it four? I like the way the whole thing is going of chronicling your life, but what about, make it four books, like the now after, after all of that. Like
That's a lot of writing. We'll see.
That's
We'll
a lot
see.
of writing.
We'll see. Maybe I'll just go after the third book. Maybe I'll just go into like personal memoirs and stuff like that. I may
Okay.
do something like that. But
Yeah.
these 3 books are basically for young people.
For young people. All right. Yeah. No, I got it. But I'm just saying, I guess we could be greedy, especially people that like to read, write, and whatever.
Or
So
if it's selling the way, if it sells right, I may have to get greedy. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But I'm definitely committed to 3.
well, it may just pour out of you anyway. So, I'm just saying.
And the first book really did, and I'm doing the outline for the second book, and I see where I'll be placing different things because the second book really deals with more issues that our teens are dealing with, like self-esteem,
Mhm.
colorism, your just social status, things like that. So this book will be a lot deeper than the first book, and it'll definitely be a lot more content and a lot more relatable to your adolescents and your teenagers. So I'm really looking forward to writing this one and really looking back on some things that I dealt with,
Mhm.
just pouring that stuff out.
Got you. So, before I let you go, or you have any events or book signings coming up, anything like that?
I have a book signing coming up. I believe it's August 20th. That's going to be at 4700 Wissahickon Avenue. I cannot
Okay.
remember the name of the church, but once I get all that information out, of course, I'll place it on social media. I'm still working on my first official book signing. Hopefully, we can make that happen in August. If not, I'll set that at a later date. But
Okay.
I may pop up at maybe a vending event or two. Who knows?
Well, make sure you give me the info because I'm gonna slide through and do a quick live.
Well, that's your area of expertise. So I may need you to point one out to me so I can get there.
Oh, okay. Y'all see that? I might get hired. Yeah, we'll see. Well, anyway, so how can they find you on social media, Mr. Glover?
You can find me on Facebook at Ronald E. Glover II. On Instagram, Ron Glover 1972, and Salvation Son has its own page on Instagram, Salvation Son Official.
Okay. No website yet? Because people like books, merchandise, cups, mugs. I'm just throwing that out there.
We're working on some stuff, and I hear you making your pitch too. So we're working on some stuff. I had some shirts that I was working on, but time didn't allow me to get those ready really for those students for their graduation day. But
oh yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that would have been dope. And them getting a copy of the book and a t-shirt. Yeah, that would have been dope. Oh well, it's okay. You got plenty of time, hopefully, for the next graduating class. So I'm about to wrap this up. I want to thank you for dropping in to talk to me and my family.
thanks for having me.
Yes, Lisa Media, and we out.